Hey everyone! In this video, I'll show you how we created this Reels using AI, in the style of Dolce & Gabbana. And I'll also explain how we planned the storyboard, built the scenario, and in the end, made a virtual try-on in Instagram with AI. Here's the storyboard we ended up with, and I'll walk you through it step by step. So, what was the task? We took the latest Dolce & Gabbana Alta Moda 2025 show. I really liked this dress. And this black one too. I intentionally picked something complex, with sheer fabric, delicate textures, and decorative details. Then we generated these images in Midjourney. And honestly, the AI did an amazing job. The dresses look surprisingly realistic. In this video, I'm not going to explain how we made the dresses themselves. We already have a separate tutorial for that. This one is more about the storyboard. Why? Because a lot of people already know how to make AI images, but they struggle to put everything together into a structured Reels with a proper scenario. That's exactly what we'll focus on today. Let's dive a little deeper. The first part of the storyboard is the hook, and I call it dissonance. Here's the idea. When people hear Dolce & Gabbana, they instantly think about luxury, fashion, elegance, but definitely not Jupiter. So what did we do? We wrote Dolce & Gabbana right on the cover, and added this scene with a spaceship flying toward a planet, like in Star Wars. Then we say something like, in the year 4000 on Saturn, the fashion show will take place in this pavilion. It looks like a futuristic poster, and it creates this funny moment of confusion. People see it and think, wait, Dolce & Gabbana? Space? What's going on here? And they stop to watch. The next block I called Black Dress. Here we want to show the actual dress. For every frame, I wrote down the exact idea behind it. The first idea, make the viewer ask themselves, is this even for me? Because when people watch content, even subconsciously, that's the question they have. Then the second frame, we must show the product right away. This video is about the dress, and if they don't see it fast, they'll scroll away. So first, we grab their attention with the dissonance. Then we say, okay, this is about the dress. The girl appears in a black Dolce & Gabbana dress, and people think, all right, I like it. Let's see more. And that's exactly what we did. A simple animation of a model walking down the runway in this dress. The next shot is a close-up of the model's face. I call this part realism, because AI is already incredibly good at generating faces. Here's the idea of the storyboard. First, the girl looks off into the distance. Then she slowly turns her eyes toward the camera. And on top of that, we add a little teaser text, something like, the biggest fashion event ever, and so on. But the main point here is to show the face of the model. If you look back at how computer graphics were used in the 70s and 80s, almost everything was shot in real life, and only tiny bits were CGI. Over time, the amount of CGI grew. Today, it's half the movie. But in the beginning, when the tech was weak, a fully CGI movie just wouldn't work. Nobody would watch it. With AI, it's the same thing now. If you make your entire Reels super futuristic, no one will watch it. So the goal is to mix sci-fi elements with realistic imagery, because that's what brands actually pay for. Dolce & Gabbana doesn't need a dress floating somewhere in space. They need to see their actual dress, on a person that looks real. Even if it's an AI model, it should feel like a real person. That's what gets attention. So my advice is simple. Always include shots like this. Close-ups, realistic faces, they always look great. Next, our goal was to create 2 detail shots. Let's go back to the original reference for a second. See these intricate elements? This dress has a very specific, semi-transparent texture and some really complex details. When I was generating this dress, I was looking for that exact variation that would highlight its beauty. And when I found it, I thought, this is what people need to see. That's the magic of this outfit. Look here, the sleeve turned out really well, and the texture on the lower part of the dress looks great too. You can clearly see the contrast between the light fabric on top and the denser texture below. And here, we're basically using the same trick as before. The model looks to one side, then the other, and then straight into the camera. She's not just standing there, she's posing, which instantly makes the frame more alive. And like I said before, faces already look super realistic with AI, so don't be afraid to use close-up shots of the face in your generation. It makes everything feel more real and polished. The next frame is a transition shot. So look, first we had the hook, then the black dress, and now the transition. Here I wanted to show a big fashion event, a crowd of people, something that gives a sense of scale. Like, wow, this looks like a futuristic space event. And we added a little teaser text, something like 1 billion visitors, just to give it that grand futuristic vibe. Then we move on to the white dress. The technique is exactly the same. First a full body shot, then close-up details. And honestly, it came out really well. Here's the original reference. As I mentioned, we replaced the model's face and then generated this version of the dress. And after that, the animation starts. The AI did a really good job with the detailing here. It looks clean and elegant. And the next stage in this Reels is conversion, turning views into leads. When you create content, especially if you work in SMM, the brand that pays for it wants one thing: sales. That's why almost every Reels should lead to some kind of action. In our case, we used a virtual try-on in Instagram, so we guided people straight to that feature. We basically said, "Want to try it on online?" and explained what they'd get from it. Let me show you in the video. And then came the call to action. Just comment under this video and the bot will start chatting with you. Let me show you how it actually looks inside Instagram. Imagine I open a brand's page, see a post with a dress, watch the Reels, I like it. Then I leave a comment. The keyword can be anything. Right after that, I get a message from the brand. I open my DMs and see a text. They're offering to tell me more about the dress. I reply, "Yes, I'm interested." They send me a link where I can buy it on their website and also try it on virtually. The bot says, "Send me a photo." Let's imagine I'm a girl with lots of mirror selfies, like when you try on clothes. The AI replies, "Give me about 30 seconds to render the image." I wait around 10 to 15 seconds, and then the bot sends me back a photo, where my image is already wearing the dress. Now let's switch to Uppyway. This is where the automation for the virtual try-on is set up. We actually have a separate video on YouTube where I explain this step by step, but right now I'll just give you a quick overview of how it works. You log in, connect your Instagram account, and set the keyword. In our case, it's try-on, but yours can be anything. Then you choose the post. I picked the one with the Dolce Gabbana dress. Next, I uploaded the dress image, the clothing photo that the AI will use to process and generate the try-on. After that, I just wrote a simple message for the bot. The whole setup takes literally 2 or 3 minutes. You can just repeat the same steps. Upload your clothing photo, choose the post you want, and that's it. It's live and working. And of course, if you have any questions, you can go to our website, Uppyway, register, open the support chat, and we'll help you set up your own virtual try-on.